Good morning. So lots and lots has changed with Insectram over the last 3 months, with some really exciting new features and some really exciting news coming up. Look out for the BPCA newsletter hitting your inbox very shortly. Um, Today, I'm going to speak about the future of pest management, really, looking at some AI, which just seems to be everywhere at the minute, and also some smart technology. So, those of you that don't know Insectram, we are a UK-based pest reporting system. We provide SaaS services, software as a service, to all levels of pest companies, from one-man bands all the way up to sort of multinationals. And what I want to talk about today is the integration of AI and smart technology in pest control. I have been in pest control industry for coming up 30 years, I think now, something like that. And I remember, going way back to the Rentokil days, maybe even 20 years ago, the smart traps were kind of coming in. There was a really old-fashioned kind of hardwired system, but the technology is really moving on. So we just want to sort of talk about that a little bit today. And really, there does seem to be a perceptual shift thinking within the pest industry. And one of the main things is, of course, rodenticide usage. We're all under pressure to reduce the amount of rodenticides that we're using in the environment. One thing I also kind of take away from crew talks is that rodenticides now should really be the last thing that you're reaching for on a job. Any alternative, but there's not much out there. Non-toxic, great. It's a monitoring tool. Or back to the old stuff. Break back traps, snap traps, and that kind of thing. Real kind of change in perceptions over rodenticide usage. So we need to start thinking about the future. What happens if the rodenticides start to disappear from our toolbox? Alongside that, over the last definitely sort of 5 years, there's been a real rise in digital monitoring. So what I mean by digital monitoring, there's lots out there. This is basically some kind of trap that will have a device in it that will notify you remotely. So great piece of kit. These many manufacturers. They're from German, Dutch. We're seeing a huge rise in Chinese imports now. So it won't be long before you'll be buying these things on Temu. I cannot guarantee they will work. But essentially, these are just remote monitoring or remote trap devices. There's a real transition towards smart traps, and it just helps us as pest controllers. It means that we don't have to check traps constantly. These things are just monitoring themselves 24 hours a day. They work in different ways. Okay, there's hardwire systems, there are Bluetooth systems, there are mobile chip systems that work on Vodafone networks and etc. Lots and lots of different ways. What I would say is just have a real good think if you're going to kind of look at this technology and think about the types of client that you're going to be installing these devices into. A lot of the major manufacturing sites will not allow you to connect to Wi-Fi, so their own Wi-Fi systems. So you need to have some kind of remote system, but there's lots and lots out there. So not only traps, okay, we are really moving forward with technology in EFKs, and our friends at Pelsis are really leading the way with the smart Halo units. Essentially, their fly catcher, the smart Halo, has a camera inside, and it constantly monitors the glue board. In fact, I'm pretty sure we may be able to actually. Am I hearing right? We can actually go live. Okay, we can go live to an Intrepid Halo device out there in the field. Let's just see if we can. Can you hear me? No, of course you can't, because they're great, but they can't talk back. But what they can do, they can give us lots and lots of information. So what we have here, we have a Pelsis Halo device launched in one of our clients. This is the Insectram dashboard that you can see here, hopefully. And what we're going to do, we're going to analyze this fly unit. It's in a manufacturing site, okay? So this is live now. What it can do, it can tell us the number of flies that this unit has caught within a set period of time. So we can see here that today we've caught 706 flies. We can differentiate between large and small flies. At the minute, we cannot identify flies by species yet, but this is certainly something that we're looking at in the very near future. But what it will do, it will differentiate between small and large flies. So this is kind of allowing you to look at a glue board. Okay, we can hopefully check this out. And this is a live shot of a glue board in a manufacturing site. So we can just zoom in and we can pretty much see, the sort of the fly species that we're calling here, some moths, small flies, mosquitoes, blue bottles, that kind of thing. Really, really interesting technology coming out of Pelsis. The advantage of this kind of thing, apart from being extremely clever, you can essentially do fly catch analysis sat in your pajamas. Okay. Of course, you'd still need to go and change the glue board, but for hard to reach fly units, for sites that are really, really critical on the levels of flies that they catch, you can also set these units to alert you on high count. So, if 100 flies hits the glue board within 20 minutes, it will send an alert to you via Insectram and the mobile application to tell your technician that there's something not quite right going on at this particular premises with this particular glue board. So real smart kind of AI technology coming on from Pelsis here. So reason that Insectram are involved in this kind of technology is that every kind of manufacturer of these devices, whether it's the Germans or the Dutch or the Chinese or Pelsis, each device has its own platform. Okay, so each device or each manufacturer will report into their own platform, which in theory, you could have 3 or 4 different platforms working together that don't particularly work together. So Insectram can incorporate every single manufacturer into our own platform. So if it's Bell, if it's Pelsis, if it's Chinese or the Dutch guys, all of these can be brought into the Pelsis portal. So everything, so the Insectram portal. So everything works from our dashboard. Why do we really need to be thinking about this for the future? Well, the first thing for me is everybody else is doing it. The big guys, okay, the Renticles, the Ecolabs, the Anti-Cymex, these guys are investing millions of pounds in this kind of technology. If we're not catching up, if we're not keeping up, keeping pace with them, there's a real chance of us falling behind. Particularly, anybody that works in the largest sector of the food manufacturing or high-end commercial side. It's just a really good idea to, if you're not using this kind of technology, at least know about it, think about it, look around, talk to your clients about it, let them know that it's available to you as well. Because if you don't, then Rentokil, Ecolab, or whoever certainly will do. One of the things that's really driving this kind of technology are the audit bodies. So anybody that works with Tesco, Asda, M&S, Waitrose, that kind of thing, they all have their own food safety standards, where pest control is a huge part of that. They all kind of work off the back of the BRCGS standards, but everybody has their own little nuances. For example, you could never use breakback traps in a Tesco audited site. They don't like them for monitoring purposes, because if you catch a mouse one day after you've done a routine visit, in theory, the mouse is sat there for a month just festering away in the box and potentially causing all sorts of kind of secondary issues. So you could never use traps for monitoring in Tesco sites. So it was also a non-toxic site. Now, Asda have decided they don't like non-toxic, so they want you to use traps. Okay, so if you've got a site that's Tesco and Asda, we've now got a conflict. So what do we do? Do we use non-toxic for one guy, or do we use traps for the other guy? One thing they do have in common is they all agree that smart traps are the future. Because if a mouse is caught in a smart trap, it essentially alerts you immediately. So in theory, you can send a technician within an hour, open the box, take the mouse away and reset it. I can see in the future, the very near future, that the audit bodies will start to really push smart traps and digital technology. So it's really something, that you need to be at least thinking about. In summary of the kind of smart technology, it's coming. I am very old-fashioned as the pest controller. I never think you can replace the boots on the ground guys. The technicians on the site. Smart traps, smart EFKs are fantastic. They will never replace people on the ground, because they can't pick up on open doors. They won't notice spillages, and I can't go and speak to your client and say, "How are you? How's the kids? Did you have a nice holiday?" That kind of real sort of human value. So, it's certainly a tool that you should be thinking about in the toolbox, but, people sell to people. And, one of the other kind of major issues for me was always the price. They were very expensive, the smart traps, but they are certainly coming down in price. So it's something for the very near future. So Insectram are really at the forefront of kind of digital integration. We're also looking at AI. Okay, so we went to a webinar, a summit in Portugal late last year. It was basically a nerd fest of every kind of technology all coming together in one big hall. And I will say that 90% of people there were trying to flog something that was AI. Everything is now AI technology. So, why should the pest control industry stay behind? I'm sure everybody's using ChatGPT at some point. We need to start integrating that into our own systems and just giving us a hand, helping us move it forward. One of the things we've incorporated into the Insectram platform is AI into our reporting systems. So essentially analysis. So again, let me just flick back to the Insectram platform here. So this is our Insectram dashboard. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to look into our work order calendar, which is where all of our calls live, our routine visits, call outs, that kind of thing. And I'm just going to choose one of our clients, which is Craig's Old Pie Shop. I can click on this client anytime, just get a little bit of information about him. It's a routine visit, it's a call out for rats, this particularly. But I can look in a real detail. We have a new Purion X AI button. So if I hit the AI button, what it will do, it will deep dive into that client and essentially look at every single visit that's been done for this client in Insectram's history. And it will assess every single aspect of that call. I'll start with a summary just to give me a general purpose of what this is. It's a call out for rats. But then as I scroll down, it'll start to give me a bit of an idea. So I get a plan. It will look at what we've done previously. It will look at any hazards that we've picked up previously. There's a potential hidden issue. While rats are the reason for the multiple call outs, we have 0 open non-conformities documented in the system. This is kind of telling me off. I'm getting lots of call outs, but I'm not recommending anything. We can even look at our pesticide and chemical usage analysis, which the crew guys will absolutely love. So this is giving you some information around what we've used on this site. In total, we've used 20 units of Pastabate applied between the 15th and the 16th of January. Can I just please say this is a test site? This is not a real site. So stand down, crew. Okay, just calm down. The outcome has persisted. Okay, call-outs have continued daily following the application of the rodenticide. So it's telling me here that Brodivku is highly potent, generates second-generation rodenticide. There's a lack of catch or consumption. Is there some bait shyness? Should I try something different? Okay. It will even evaluate me as a technician. So it will say, I've got some positive attributes on this site. I'm consistent in identifying hygiene issues and structural issues. But there's a significant gap between identifying a risk and taking formal action. So it knows that I'm writing about things in the visit report, but I'm not actually creating any non-conformities for the client to action. So real sort of deep dive analysis on reporting. So just in summary, now we're looking at AI being able to sort of generate some real-time reporting, looking at decisions that have been made in the past by the technician, and maybe suggesting a better way forward for us. We are incorporating any kind of technology, with seamless integration, any of the smart traps. So if you guys are using smart trap technology and you're sick of its individual platforms, come and talk to us. We can incorporate it into Insectram for you. And all of this is just helping you be more accurate. It's going to ensure that you improve your efficiency and be able to kind of control your strategies on site. So what I want to move on to now is a little bit more about AI Assistant. So Insectram's now been running 2 years, maybe. We're getting lots and lots of pest controllers coming to us. And I think one of the biggest thing is any new system is a learning process. Okay. So what we have done, we have integrated an AI assistant into the Insectram platform, which will be your little guide. So let's go back to the Insectram homepage again. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the AI assistant here. So I've got a little fella on my shoulder that will help me. If I type into the AI assistant, maybe how do I create a new client? Okay. And ask it. So essentially, it's very similar to the kind of chat GPTs, but it's very specific to Insectram. And we have manuals, we have online training courses, but there will always be times where you think, how do I do that? We now have the AI assistant. What it will do, it will give you a guide, okay? Or you can even open a video and listen to me whittering on at you for the next 2 minutes and explaining how to create a client. Let's be a bit more mean to it. Okay, I just want something a little bit more in depth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask it to show me trend analysis. So we'll look at Hamish Foods or Hamish Manufacturing. These guys are an audited site, the BRC. He's going around the site, he's opening the boxes, and he's scanning the QR codes. As he scans the QR code, he's then entering pest data. All this time, Insectram is collecting the data and is automatically trending these for you. All of these are available through the client system, where you can look at individual reports, pest trending, graphs, charts, and that kind of thing. But we just want to test the AI out a little bit, and hopefully, if it's not thinking for too long, it's going to come back with some trend analysis for Hamish Manufacturing for all rodents in 2025. Come on, it's thinking too long. Let's go. It's going to leave me hanging. It was quicker than this this morning when we were testing it. So yeah, great stuff. And yeah. Okay, it's failed me. I can't believe this. Let me just. Oh, here we go. Sorry, he's back. Okay, he's had a little hiccup. Here we go. So here is the data for Hamish Manufacturing. So we can see, over a period of time where we've had 30 mice in snap traps, we've had 9 mice in non-toxics, and then we could also get a breakdown of basically every visit that we've done with the work order number, with the date, and with the catches, and also the areas that we're catching the rodents in as well. Lots and lots of detail. So the AI assistant is up and running, which will not only help you navigate the Insectram system a lot easier, but it'll also help you kind of deep dive and find these sort of reports that clients and auditors often pop up and ask for as well. By the way, that is also available to your clients. So really, what we just want to finish up on today is that coming to Insectram will help you move your industry forward. We're hopefully helping pest control move forward into the smart world, into the smart EFK world, and the AI reporting as well. And that is pretty much us for today. Are there any questions?
Amazing. Thank you very much. And Insectram has certainly come on a long way since the previous. It's like every year you come and do a talk for us, and something new and interesting has always been added along as well. So we don't have any questions just yet, but hopefully we'll get a few. But I'd also say, reiterate, keep an eye on your inboxes tomorrow, or else you've got some thanks pouring in now for your talk. So hopefully you'll get a few people. Did you want to put your contact information in there as well, Craig, just in case people want to reach out to you directly as well?
Absolutely. Yep. Of course.
Double checking. No questions at the moment. Just lots of thanks coming out for your talk as well. It's really informative. It's nice to see that we are, as an industry, moving forward with everyone else as well. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you again for Insectram for sponsoring us today. And
no problem.
See you at Pestex.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be there on our usual stand. So please come along, say hello, and you can have some Turkish delight.
There we go. What better offer?
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.